De Hudson rivier.
Centuries ago, the Chinese discovered ginseng helped renew vigor and vitality. Now, GNC introduces Purple Plus Multi-Ginseng. More potent ginseng extracts in one soft gel capsule. Purple Plus Multi-Ginseng, only at general nutrition centers.
We zitten hier in het hotel, Millennium Hotel in Manhattan. Het is tegenover het World Trade Center. Dat is dit gebouw. Het is één van de twee, want er zijn er twee. Hier is die andere. Het is het grootste gebouw ter wereld, denk ik. 110 verdieping. Daar ga ik straks vergaderen op de 55e. En het loopt tot daar helemaal toe. Ik denk dat we ook nog een keer naar de bovenste verdieping gaan. Even kijken. En daar ergens moet ik vergaderen. Mooi hoor. Daar ligt, dat is in de verte, dat is niet meer Manhattan, dat is een Brooklyn of zo. We zijn er gisteren heen gereden. Oude troep. Taxideuren op slot. Dus Church Street. Die mensen die daar lopen, die zullen allemaal wel werken in die kantoren.
Want to lose weight so bad and they'll do, they'll do whatever. I think it's another one of those scams.
Is dat die Empire State? Gebruikt?
Ja, dat zou ik eens bovenop gooien.
Ja?
Mooi hoor. Ja, kost een paar dollar, maar dan zit je op 106. Dat is leuk. Give me a smile. I'm going to bring mine here. But he's started off very well. Ik ga kijken of hij dan weer in de binnen zit.
Dit is Paul. En Dave.
Emails start flying around.
Next year, Derek. I thought it was this year, but no, that's next year.
Yeah.
No, that's a bit of yeah, there's next year they have been on
Dat weer te lachen, John.
Ja, lachen. Ja, ja. Okay, I promise to a brief update about the complaint and messages.
Okay, then we can start. I've been explaining in Cardiff that a very large committee is working on merging of the container messages. And that work has been done, and recently we had a meeting in Berlin, and it's called the Joint Rapporteur Scheme. If you don't know what it means, I will explain it to you. Every effect board in the world has its own local effect board: Australia, New Zealand, Eastern Asian, Pan American, West European. And together we form the Joint Rapporteur Scheme. And the group, GM4 is a transport group, had on the agenda the container messages for a very long time, 3 or 4 years. We started in 89 in Rotterdam developing container messages, knowing that somebody else in the world would do the same thing at the same moment. And after development of the messages, we had about 80 messages, and we decided to go international, knowing that the number will be reduced till 40, 30 whatsoever. So we got into the international circuit in 1990, and the first thing people say, too many messages, and that's what we expected. And we formed a subgroup starting to decrease the number of messages and merge existing X12 messages, Japanese messages, Australian, New Zealand messages. And we reached consensus in Berlin, we call it the post-Berlin, about the following messages. Container announcement, container release order, you can read it yourself. I have documentation here, but not enough for everybody, and I need a case like this. But if there's not much, or if there's not enough, please give me your name and we will send it to you later. I will give you an example container announcement, number 1. Can you read it? At this moment we have a container announcement with a status 0, and before we reached consensus about this we had 6 messages: disposition order, release order, pre-arrival, and so on. You can read it yourself. And now we agreed to have 1 message instead of 6, as reported by the effect board. It's a shame, well, I don't think that you like to see all of it, but the documentation is available. What was important for a container terminal and a shipping line or an ocean carrier is the container discharge order, loading order. Now we have officially a message with a status 0. Used to be a pre-arrival, pre-departure, and pre-departure with guidelines. Pre-departure with guidelines is empty containers, load 100 empties, 40 feet or 20 feet. And now we have 1 message for the bay plan and the stowage plan and the move instructions. So a lot of work still has to be done, but we think we're on the right way to get status 1 and 2 for all those messages. And we at the moment, ECT, are implementing a lot of those messages, not only for testing but also in operation. We know it's a risky thing if it's a status 0, but we took the decision not to wait for it. I have a lot of documentation. What I can do is add it to the minutes, if you wish. Of course, it's a 40-page document, if there is interest in it. Yeah? Bulletin board. There's one. Yeah. Well, you see, there are a lot of messages, but bear in mind that we talk about the whole transport chain, from shipper to the terminal and everything in between, and from the terminal to the receiver and everything in between. Inland transport, barge and feeder, everything.
Sir, which message would be used then for container executive information for the
gate in or the gate out? It's a confirmation. Yeah. Land side. And that's a merger of the gate EX from X12 and the previous gate in and gate out from the intercom messages.
Carries all the about destination information.
Yes. So what I shall do is send the information to you and put it again on the agenda for our next meeting in Southampton, and then we have some more news and specifications if you wish. Any more questions? Yep.
These are the so-called inland transport messages.
No, container message.
Container messages, yes, for intermodal transport mainly, except for the Barclay and the Moorings.
Yes, what you see here is the whole transport chain.
The whole transport chain, and as we are here, we are a ship funding message design group. The fundamental question is now, do we adopt those, as I smell it, do we adopt those intermodal messages in our container business, a shipping message design group, or don't we?
We are a user group
Yeah.
for container terminals
Yeah.
and shipping lines or ocean carriers.
Yeah.
But the reason why we put this on the agenda, because a lot of people ask me, give me an update about the messages.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's an item now to adopt it or not.
Uh-huh.
But there will be specifications available, user manuals, and we will provide them for people.
So the user if we adopt them, let's say that we adopt them, then the question of
Okay.
What about user manuals? Are they? Well, I can imagine that we don't have a need in such a very sophisticated user manual that we have, for instance, as a Barclay or so. Maybe the structure is more simple, or the data flow is more simple, and we have only to do the two partners, maybe internet or so. Maybe it's more simple, but what about the user manuals for
All those messages. As you know, that Intercom was one of the originators of those messages, making the new specifications now, and Intis has offered to make the user manuals, and we asked Intis to provide them for free for this group, and they agreed. But that took, it was 6 months from now, I think, but they are available. It's a lot of work. Any more questions? Okay, I promise you the documentation. The next thing on the agenda. Thank you. Got it. Als ik dan weer terug ben, dan een keer met aan dit Jerry, where shall we go tonight?
Dit is ons hotel. Of we het dak in beeld kunnen krijgen. Zo. Andere toren.
stuk in de hond. Overal staan die
Ja, sorry. Goed, genoeg bewijsmateriaal.
Voor Windows.
They came so up. Yeah. That's why I'm
Aardige vent die van P&L. Hè? En we willen ineens wakker geworden. Even Oren, shot of you, Oren.
Pardon?
You're on film.
Well, thank you. I always appreciate being on film. Unlike anybody else, right?
Well, no. Everybody wants on film.
It's secret. Thank you.
Larry?
I'm the delivery boy. I just make the